So today we got a 1v1v1. We got a three-way battle today on tactical shotguns. So we're gonna shoot a couple rounds. We're at a range day. So we're getting all the guns lined up.
We're gonna feel like a freaking James Bond,
So today we got a 1v1v1. We got a three-way battle today on tactical shotguns. So we're gonna shoot a couple rounds. We're gonna put some on paper, we're gonna put some on clays, and we're gonna tell you which one I like the best. So here we have the Mossberg 500 Retrograde. It comes fitting with wood furniture. So the Retrograde comes in a 3-inch chambering. It has a total barrel length of 18.5 inches, a total length of 40 inches. And it's weighing in at a whopping 6.7 pounds. So this is a pump action shotgun. It can hold 5+1. It features a single bead sight on the end of the barrel. This is gonna be only used for tack operations. So we got the Retrograde with the wood furniture. We're gonna throw some skeets down range. We're gonna see if we can hit some clays. Three for four, not bad. The last one I definitely pulled it. But after you get used to the gun, having to be rough with her, she definitely opens up a little bit more. You really got to be rough putting the shells in as well. It's not an easy gun just to, you know, feather it in. It's not meant for those 2022s today. All right, so let's put this Retrograde onto some paper and see what it does. So obviously you can see with the shot coming dead center here, a lot of that pattern is spread out over a couple of quadrants. It is fairly tight enough that you can do this for skeet, like it will do the job for you, but it is very spread. So we just shot 7.5 out of the Retrograde at 20 yards. Now we're gonna shoot buckshot from 10 yards to the target. Wow, the Magnum round. You felt it pretty good, but nothing crazy. Let's go take a look at what it did to the paper. All right, so as you can see, aiming in the right quadrant, yeah, you're dead. This is definitely a good pattern to have coming out of buckshot at 10 yards. There's a few, you know, flyers, but the majority of it dummied the paper. So I gotta say, for the cheaper price point of the Retrograde, it is a good gun. It definitely needs some getting used to. It's definitely a stiff moving shotgun. The loading is a little difficult with certain shots. I don't know if high brass is gonna be a little bit better than low brass. And the cycling itself, you really have to throw her down and throw her back into place. Overall, good gun. I love the wood furniture. It's very nicely put together. There's not any like weird obstructions whenever you're running your hand down the receiver to the stock. Overall, it's a good gun. I would recommend getting one for the price point that it's at. Next up in the showdown is the Mauler from Revolutionary Arms. So we're gonna pump some shots into her. We're gonna send some down range. So this is the Revolutionary Armory Mauler. It is featuring the polymer accessories. It is a 3-inch 12-gauge pump action shotgun. So this is a 3-inch chambering. It has a barrel length of 16.5 inches. It has a total length of 37 inches. The gun weighs 7 pounds. So this gun features a drilled and tapped receiver. It has one single sight on the end of the barrel, and it can feature 5+1 shots in the gun. Thought they had the old 5+1. Forgot to take the pin out of her. So we got the 12-gauge Mauler. We're gonna send some skeets down range and see if we can bust some clays. Technical difficulties by the Raven. The damn Raven. Not bad, gotta say. So we're doing the Mauler 7.5-inch skeet load, paper target, 20 yards. Let's go see what it did. All right, so as you can see, is very good grouping coming out onto the right side of the whole sheet. There's not very many flyers that are concerning to say, but if you had that on target, that'd be a good shot. All right, so we got buckshot Magnum, 10 yards. Let's see what it does to the paper. All right, 10 yards, let's go see. All right, so we got a fairly close hit to center. There's definitely a lot more flyers on this one, but still would have killed the animal if you got it on target. So I've got to say, Revolutionary Armory, for a cheaper shotgun, I got to say this is a good gun if you're just looking in to getting like a cheap gun that you can do skeet, you can do some little bit of target practice with it, and a home defense gun, it definitely fits that bill. So I got to say it was very easy to get onto skeet. Some other guns that we've brought out here, it takes, you know, a couple of shots to get onto a skeet or a clay target or a target on paper. I gotta say, this was definitely an easier gun to get used to. I don't know if it's just because I'm a longer human being, and this is a fairly short shotgun. But overall, a great gun. I would highly recommend it for the price. This is a good gun to get. So next on the showdown is the Churchill Shorty shotgun. Let's go put some rounds down range. So what we have here is the Churchill 12 gauge pump tactical shotgun. So this is a 3-inch chamber. It has a barrel length of 15 inches and a total length of 32.5 inches. So this gun comes in at a whopping 5.5 pounds. It takes 4+1 with a single bead on the end of the barrel. Ow, that bit a little bit. Guess you shouldn't put your thumb where it's not supposed to be. All right, so we're bringing the Churchill up for some skeet shooting. Let's see how this short shotgun performs on the clays. Three shots, got all 3 clays. It is definitely an awkward shotgun just due to how small it actually is for my stature. Gotta say though, it performed very well, cycled them smooth. Loading is smooth, the trigger feels is very good. It's decently light for a cheaper end shotgun. Woo! Performed very well. 3 shots through her. It's very easy motion to cycle the shotgun. The eject fine on low brass, small load. Loading port, I'd definitely like to see either the flap to be milled out a little bit more or milling on itself in the receiver itself. All right, so we're gonna put the Churchill using 7.5 on paper at 20 yards. Let's go see what it did. So this is a wide spread here. You've got shots coming down all the way down here to all the way over here. You got very few actually where you're aiming. But for a skeet gun, maybe that's what you want, you know, you get a couple little flyers to break the clays, but I wouldn't want that. That is not my ideal skeet shooting gun. All right, so now we're gonna put a buckshot in the Churchill at 10 yards. Let's go see what it did. So as you can see, they're fairly spread out compared to the other ones that we've tested. It's not leaving that giant hole there, but it's definitely all tighter grouped together. You're not having the flyers that are straggling out doing nothing. Most of this is concentrated enough that it will be put on target. For the Churchill, the price point it's at, it's a good shotgun. I definitely wouldn't buy it to go skeet shooting. I definitely want a longer barrel for sure. Cycles the rounds nice. It's nice and smooth on the trigger. It's a good quality build. There's not any rough edges that you'd expect on a cheaper end shotgun, but this is strictly for tactical use in my opinion. It's got your mounts for the strap. Overall, great gun. Like I said, loading port, a little tight for my fingers. Cross bolt safety, very nice. Trigger pull good. Cycles the rounds perfectly fine. Definitely more of your tactical shotgun needs though. So the longest gun by far is going to be the Retrograde. Next to that is going to be the Mauler. And then after that, shortest by far is going to be the Churchill. They all have very good buttstocks. The best one out of my opinion is going to be the Revolutionary Arms. Next to probably the Retrograde, and the Churchill virtually have the same. The biggest trigger I'm going to find is the Retrograde. Next to that is going to be the Revolutionary Armory. And next to that is going to be the Churchill. The four hands, definitely going to be the Mauler. And we're definitely going to go with the Retrograde. There's a lot of texturing there in the ribs. And then the Churchill is going to be last. As for the texturing in the buttstock itself, I'm going to go with the Revolutionary Arms. Definitely has the most. Next to the Retrograde to the Churchill. All right, so now it's going to be showdown time. We got the specs out of the way. We're going to use the Mossberg 500 first. Let's crank some shells. All right, so out of all three guns in the showdown, my favorite that I would use for every day you want to do is definitely going to be the Revolutionary Arms Mauler. I think this is going to be a great gun that you can do target shooting with or on paper target as well. If you needed to take it out, do buckshot or slug or whatever it may be, this is going to be my go-to gun for this price range. The deciding factor for these other two, why I wouldn't want them, the Retrograde with the wood stock is just really tough to use and operate. Maybe we'll come back in a couple of rounds and we'll see if it, you know, lightens up a little bit, maybe if the traction's less there. For the Churchill, too short of a gun for me. I'm not a fan of how tucked I would have to get, so I wouldn't like to use that on target shooting at all. The trigger feel was good though, the cycling was clean. It did bite on the loading. I don't know if it's just the chunky fingers or what, but to me, the Mauler's gonna win this one. Easy to load, easy to shoot, reliable. So, after that one, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you have any other cheaper guns that you'd like us to review.